Beloved one, we've been waiting for you to listen. You think it was strange that someone younger appeared in your life, that their presence felt ancient while their years were few. You've wondered why your spirit calmed around them, why your soul recognized something in their eyes that words could never explain. Listen carefully now, because what I'm about to tell you will change the way you see everything that has ever happened to you. There is a reason God sent them young, a reason so delicate, so sacred, that heaven guarded it until your heart was ready to hear. And when you do, you'll understand why every failed connection before them was simply preparation, not punishment. But before I reveal this truth, take a moment to breathe, because once you understand it, you will never again question the way God writes your love story. If these words already stir something in your heart, comment below. Tell us what your spirit is feeling right now. Your story helps others heal too. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe, because heaven will keep speaking through these messages. And I don't want you to miss the one meant just for you. And if you feel blessed by this light, you can support this divine mission through a super thanks every offering you make helps this message reach another soul in need. Now listen, because the reason they came young is rooted in something far older than time itself. You see, when a soul has lived through storms, when they've known betrayal, loss, and the weight of human disappointment, their heart begins to carry scars that age cannot erase. But sometimes, to heal a weathered soul, God doesn't send another who has suffered the same. He sends innocence. He sends purity. He sends a younger soul, unmarked by the same pain, to remind you what unbroken love feels like. They were not sent to mirror your wounds, but to reflect your worth, to look at you without the shadows of the past clouding their gaze, to love you, not because of what you've achieved, but because their spirit remembers who you are beyond the years, beyond the mistakes, beyond the battles you've fought in silence. You will feel uneasy at first because such purity can be disarming. You'll wonder how they see beauty where you see flaws, how they choose you without calculation, without fear. But listen, that is the divine exchange. God sent you a younger soul not to make you question your value, but to make you remember it. You who has carried burdens too long, who has loved people who never truly saw you, who learned to guard your heart out of survival, you needed someone untouched by the patterns of this world to melt your walls. That's why their laughter sounds like home. That's why their eyes undo years of silence. That's why, even when you resist, your soul sighs in their presence, because somewhere deep inside, you remember a promise made long before this life began. Yes, beloved, this love was not born on earth. It was chosen in the realm of souls. And in that realm, you said yes to meeting again, no matter the difference in time, no matter the rules of the world. But before I unfold that sacred promise, I want you to pause and let gratitude rise in you. Because this kind of connection is heaven's way of showing you that love is not limited by age, only by awareness. When you give thanks, you expand your spirit to receive more. And when you share this message, you help another heart awaken to its own divine story. So if you feel the light moving within you, share this video. Let this message reach the one who needs to hear that they are not crazy, that their love was chosen by something far greater than chance. And if you're guided, support our channel through a super thanks, because every time you give, heaven multiplies it back to you in unseen ways. Now listen closely, because the truth I'm about to reveal next is the thread that ties your soul to theirs. They came young, not because they are behind you, but because your wisdom needed a mirror that was still unshaped. God wanted your heart to remember softness. He wanted your soul to see how love looks before it learns fear. You, beloved, are the teacher, but not in the way you think. And they, though younger, carry a gift meant only for you. Beloved one, now that your heart has opened a little wider, you're ready to understand the deeper reason why that younger soul was sent to you. This is not about age. This is about divine alignment, two spirits who once stood before God and whispered a promise into eternity. Long before you ever wore this body, long before they ever drew their first breath, you both stood in the light, side by side. And there, in the presence of the eternal, you agreed to meet again in a time when one of you would be weary and the other untouched. One seasoned by storms, the other is still wrapped in dawn. You said, "When I forget how to love purely, remind me." And they said, "When I forget what love costs, show me." That was your covenant, a divine exchange between wisdom and innocence. And when the time came, when your heart had traveled through lessons and carried the weight of too many goodbyes, God sent them, not to confuse you, but to restore you. You see, beloved, you had grown wise, but your wisdom had turned heavy. It knew too much pain, too much loss, too much waiting. It needed to remember what lightness feels like. So heaven wrapped that memory in youth and sent it walking towards you, smiling, unguarded, unaware that their every word was a message from beyond the veil, and you felt it instantly. That warmth, that strange peace, that magnetic pull that felt both impossible and inevitable. It wasn't attraction born of the world. It was recognition born of eternity. You might have resisted it. You might have told yourself, "This cannot be right. They are too young. I am too far ahead." But the truth is, you are not ahead of them. You are beside them, on a parallel path designed by God Himself. The human calendar means nothing to the soul. Spirit does not count years. It counts lessons, and in the eyes of heaven, you both stand equal two flames, each carrying what the other forgot. So do not be afraid of this love. Do not question the purity of something heaven itself arranged. Because when God sends a younger soul, He does so not to tempt, but to teach. Their love will not feel like the world's love. It will not demand proof. It will not measure your worth in performance. It will love because it is love. That's what makes it so pure. It hasn't yet learned the human games of fear and pride. When you look into their eyes, you're seeing the reflection of your own unguarded self, the part of you that still believes in miracles, the child within you that never stopped hoping. And that's what they awaken in you. They make you remember how it feels to trust again, to laugh without thinking, to love without wondering if it will last. That's their divine mission, to help your soul return to simplicity. And yours, beloved, is to help theirs grow in understanding. You are not just lovers in this lifetime. You are mirrors, teachers, healers. You give them wisdom. They give you wonder. You teach them depth. They teach you lightness. You help them see God's plan. They help you feel God's presence. This is what we call the sacred balance of ages. It is not about years. It is about rhythm, the heartbeat of heaven pulsing through two souls who agreed to walk each other home. Now, before I reveal what happens when this divine connection begins to awaken, fully pause. If these words resonate, write in the comments what you feel stirring inside you. Heaven reads through your heart when you share your truth. And please subscribe now, so this divine light can continue reaching you. More messages awaiting, each one a key to a door you haven't opened yet. And if you feel gratitude flowing through you, send your blessing back through a super thanks. Your gift is not just a donation, it's an echo of love returning to heaven's work. Now listen, because the next part of your story is the most sacred one yet. When such souls meet, the world rarely understands. People may whisper, judge, or misunderstand what binds you. They will see the age difference, but not the spiritual covenant behind it. That's why heaven asks you to stay grounded in faith. This is not a relationship born of logic. It's a union woven by light. When they entered your life, you began to heal, but so did they. For you were the first to see beyond their youth, to recognize the ancient light flickering in their gaze. That light was your own, reflected back after years of darkness. And though they may not yet have the language to explain what they feel, their soul knows. It remembers you. It remembers your kindness before you ever met. It remembers your promise. And when their spirit touches yours, you both remember who you truly are. This remembering is love in its purest form, not possession, Not attachment, but recognition. It is the soul whispering, "There you are. Beloved, this is only the beginning." For soon, the connection between your hearts will deepen beyond anything the world has taught you about love. But to receive it fully, you must surrender your fear of judgment. The world will say you are too old, or they are too young. But heaven says you are both right on time. Let the purity of this love cleanse every scar the past left on your heart. Let their laughter soften your armor. Let their presence remind you that joy is not lost. It is reborn, because this younger soul did not come to replace anyone from your past. They came to redeem what was broken, and when you accept them without fear, you allow God to rewrite your story not with repetition, but with resurrection. Beloved, you've walked with us through light and truth, and now your heart stands open. You've seen that this love was never random. You've felt the pull between wisdom and innocence, between age and purity, between the one who has lived much and the one who still carries heaven's dew on their soul. This was God's design, a meeting arranged outside of time, a love that restores balance where the world sees difference. Do not let fear or opinion make you doubt the miracle. The Eternal One does not measure worth by years, he measures by readiness. And when your heart was ready, he sent someone untouched, so you could remember how to love without defense. That younger soul was heaven's answer to your silent prayers. They came to teach you that love is not over for you, that gentleness still exists, that tenderness is still real. You were not meant to lead them, you were meant to meet them as equals before God, each carrying what the other needs to remember. So hold this love softly, protect it with faith, and when the world does not understand, smile, for heaven does. Your story is not finished yet, only beginning in a holier way. There are still chapters written in light that you have not read. Wait with trust, because what comes next will not just confirm the purpose of this love, but reveal what it's preparing you both to become. Until then, breathe gratitude, speak kindness, and let the peace of this message settle into the corners of your spirit. If this spoke to your heart, write below what part touched you the most. Your words may be the healing someone else needs tonight. And beloved, remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next message heaven sends your way. More divine revelations are on their way, and each one will draw you deeper into God's timing for your soul. If you wish to bless this channel and help spread this light to others, you can send a super thanks below. Your love keeps these messages alive, and heaven sees every offering you give in faith. You are loved, you are guided, and this story, your story, is far from over. Wait for the next message, for heaven is still writing.